Hello, everyone, and welcome to this evening's live broadcast from the My Powerful Choices Awareness Network page. My name is Larkin Sell, and I want to welcome you both on Facebook and on YouTube. I am double broadcasting again this evening so that my clients and watchers off of Facebook can also join us this evening. Tonight, my friends, we are going to be talking about why my clients are thriving during this time and how you can too. Believe it or not, anybody can be thriving during this time. You may have to make some adjustments in here that will reflect out here. You may have to go through a little bit of discomfort. You may have to make choices that you're not accustomed to, but you too can thrive even during this time, okay? And I'm going to share with you guys tonight. Obviously, in a half an hour, I can't share everything they're doing. I can't run you all through it the way my clients get to do with me. But I'm going to share with you why my clients are thriving and how you can too, so that when you get off of this broadcast this evening, you guys can immediately start making choices and taking action steps that will help you to also begin thriving during this time, okay? Don't forget, when you log on, please say hello. Let me know if you're watching on the rebroadcast. I'd love to know where you're listening from. And don't forget, this is like live free coaching for you guys, okay? So if you've got questions, please make sure to post them in the comment section. I try to keep track of our comments and make sure that I get back to you, okay? For those of you who are unfamiliar with my work, my name is Larkin Sell. I have been a lifelong student of spirituality, of metaphysics. I have studied neuroscience. I do hypnotherapy for people. I do neurological reprogramming. But I am also a law of attraction coach, a mindset mentor, and a transformational specialist. I help people to reclaim their power and to learn how to repeatedly create transformation, not just change in their lives, and to learn how to repeatedly reach and successfully, tangibly manifest their goals, visions, dreams, and desires, okay? So if you guys are interested in that, then this broadcast is definitely for you. Don't forget to say hello. Let me know you're there. It's so much more fun for me. and post any questions that you have, okay? This is definitely, I make sure this is a safe space for you guys to ask questions, all right? So, hi, Tia, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Those of you on YouTube, also, you guys are welcome to post your questions as well in your comments in there. And hopefully I have comments on for you so you can say hi. So, guys, let's start off by talking about the first part of the title for tonight's program, why my clients are thriving, okay? And the real number one reason why my clients are thriving, and it will encompass a lot of the other things that I'm going to give to you. I'm actually keeping myself a note because there's so many. I want to remember which ones I told you. There's no way I can get to all of them tonight, but I'm going to mention the ones that I think most of you guys, can understand, maybe are familiar with, and can apply without me immediately. Okay. So I want to start with the first one, which is my clients have invested in themselves and they have outside help. Okay. Now, before you go running for the hills and hanging up, this is not a sales pitch for me. Okay. You need to understand why this is so important. So many of us try to do everything ourselves, right? We try to get information, and there's so much information out there, and then we try to apply it on our own, and we are hanging out with, you are some of the 5 people you spend the most time with, right? So we're hanging out with those 5 people who typically are the misery loves company crowd, the colleagues we see all the time, our spouse, significant other, or our family and relatives, right? Our friends. And in other words, those are the people that you maybe complain to, or you share your deepest concerns and worries with, or you tell them about your goals, dreams, visions, and desires, and maybe your frustrations why you feel they're not happening. They're the people that you might get in conflict with, that You expect to step up and support you, but you find that maybe in an effort to try to keep you safe, or because they're afraid that if you change, they'll have to change, that takes them out of their comfort zone, just hearing you talk about things that might frighten them, right? I remember when I was wanting to, get a mentor and start working on my business, all I heard from my loving family who really wanted the best for me, but they were, working and raising us and all that at a time when online businesses were just scams, right? When you had to show up at the place every day and you had to work at the same job for 40 years and you had to get a consistent paycheck and a consistent job. And, we still have this mentality that in order to be financially secure, you have to have a degree and a consistent job. And that's just not true. Now, would I recommend a degree? Absolutely. Because it helps you to grow and evolve. And there's so many other things that it does, okay? But there are so many people, though, guys, who get their degrees and then they don't have that security, right? Or they don't get their degrees and they do have that security. So it really depends on you as a person. But it's important to understand that if that's what you're thinking and feeling, I understand. I've been there because my friends and family were like, oh my God, don't spend any money on having somebody help you with this, or you're so good at that, you'll figure it out. Well, sure. The information is always out there. But how do you know what information is right and will serve you and what won't? How do you know what information will take months and years and decades off of the goal you want to create, or the transformation you want to create, or the habit that you want to stop and change, right? The benefit of getting the outside help, there are so many, but first of all, it cuts down on your time and money. Yeah, you may pay a pretty penny for a mentor, but you will always get out of what you invest in yourself. Okay. So, one of the many things I'm going to share with you tonight, and I'm starting off with this because I'm starting off with sharing with you why my clients are thriving. And then I'm going to get into why my clients are thriving. Okay. But my clients are thriving first and foremost because they made one of the most scary and difficult choices ever: to invest money in themselves, to invest time in themselves, to invest a commitment to create transformation, which is frightening, right? Because everything you want is outside of your comfort zone. So that's the first thing they did. And another reason why this is scary is because usually when you do that, your friends and family and colleagues tell you, oh my God, don't do that. Well, guys, mentors are not scams. There are plenty of scams out there. There are plenty of people trying to scam you over. But you can get that anywhere. You can get that with a college loan. You can get that if you sign up for a college class and you don't complete it or you don't show up for it, right? So you get out of it what you put into it. And also, people are so frightened of other people's opinions. And so when my clients invest in themselves, most of the time, the people around them, sorry guys, the people around them are so scared about that, right? And mostly because they don't want to have to use too. And if someone close to them starts to make changes, that also puts pressure on them to up-level themselves as well, to raise their standards and go out of their comfort zones, okay? So the other reason why it's so vital to get that outside support is that there's billions of people on the planet. You're not meant to be here to struggle and suffer and do this alone. And even if you do collect all the information, you have to sift through it. That takes a lot of time and money and effort to figure out, is this even the right thing? I've had clients come to me and, they had gotten a lot of good info, but they weren't applying it correctly to their lives. Okay. So another thing that this number one point does is when you've got the outside help, that mentor has already been there and done that and can give you shortcuts and blueprints. Why would you want to reinvent the wheel? If you want to build a house, why would you want to try to learn, architecture and measurement and roof angle and insulation and all about the bricks and the foundation and the wood, why would you want to spend all that time and money to learn all the details that go into designing and building a good, solid home when you can hire someone to give you the blueprint, show you how to do it, and work with you side by side while you build that? Does this make sense? Okay, so I wanted to start with this today because a lot of people don't hang around to hear the importance of getting outside help. They think that someone like myself is just trying to pitch a sale. Okay, well, I have discovery calls 2 weeks long. Okay, I can't even keep up with my discovery calls and people that are literally, and they have to jump through hoops. They have to apply. They have to be interviewed. I only take 40% of the people that apply to coach with me, so you don't need to worry about that here. I'm very picky about who I work with, but I am going to be honest and share it with you because a lot of, my clients are thriving. One of the main reasons is because they have that outside help. Okay, I've been there, done that. I can show them what to do. I can cut down on their mistakes. I can help them learn from their mistakes. I can validate them. Okay, so it's a lot easier, guys, if you just invest in yourself, not just financially. Okay, so that's the first thing. Most of the people at this time that are out there complaining about the current situation, and worrying about things and focusing on their fear, everything you focus on expands, right? Most of the people that are doing that do not have outside help, or they don't have the outside help that they need, okay? They're following the crowd, or they're leading in the realm of fear. Why? Because the mind loves drama, and fear is drama. So if you're breaking my number one rule and you're believing your thoughts and you don't have outside help and support, I can understand why you're scared to freaking death, okay, about what this whole crisis could lead to. So that's the number one thing. And I really want to be clear about that. Now, let's talk about why my clients are thriving. And there's so many amazing reasons, okay? I teach my clients to reclaim their power and to be not just conscious creators, but also conscious designers of their lives, okay? Designers and creators. And to learn to do that repeatedly and make it a way of life. In the process, they reduce stress, they reduce anxiety, okay? And they allow themselves to become the best versions of themselves. And you have to be the best version of yourself in order to create the best version of your life, right? So that's the start and the foundation of why my clients are thriving. I want to talk about attitude for a minute. And again, guys, I'm writing this down because there's so many of them. I don't want to miss any. Attitude. My clients have a totally different attitude than most people out there, okay? Because I'm a mindset mentor, right? And my clients learn the value of their vibrational frequency. They learn to associate what they're thinking and how they're feeling with their vibrational frequency and what they're attracting, okay? So this is really important, vibrational frequency. We'll talk about this. But let's talk about attitude for a minute. Okay. My clients have the attitude of winning. They have the attitude of thriving. Okay. We drive home every group session. We drive home every individual session. We drive home in all the work that we're doing. The attitude is everything, right? And that they understand that they're learning to apply that. First of all, you don't manifest what you want, you manifest who and what you are. And that starts in here with the right attitude. If you have the right attitude, you can achieve anything. But if you are not your own programmer, if you are allowing yourself to be influenced by other people, by, you're not choosing the company that you keep. We're going to talk about all these. I'm writing all these down. If you don't choose the company you keep and you don't learn to be your own mental programmer, then your attitude is designed not by you. It will be designed by default by all the people and things that influence you. Okay, little Jackie. I know Jackie. Very windy here, guys. Anybody else finding it's very windy where you are? We had major storms last night, so the wind's like coming back this evening. Hi, honey. So attitude is everything. My clients have an attitude for success, okay? If they don't, I kick them in the butt and they get in gear. But they learn to create that attitude. Guys, write these down. You should be taking notes, okay? The other thing they learn to do is be their own programmer. So they learn to match the mental programming and the mindset to that which they desire to be and to manifest, right? So, sorry guys, I get talking and then I get coughing sometimes. It's allergy season for me in Cincinnati. I was not coughing until I sat down to talk to you. By programming, this means you have to be your gatekeeper. And my clients learn they must be the gatekeeper. They are the gatekeeper of, who they talk to. You are being programmed 24/7, whether you know it or not. Okay, subliminally, you're being programmed by music, by TV, by the conversations you have, even by your own thoughts. You're being programmed by what you watch on TV. You're being programmed by the people you talk to and the conversations they have and what you see on social media. And one of the first things that my clients learn is they must be the conscious gatekeeper of what is programming them. Because whatever your current reality is, it is the result of repetition, of your habits, of the choices you've made, and all of those things are programmed by everything that you're experiencing, whether you're conscious of it or not. And, since only 5% of your mind is conscious and the other 95% is your subconscious mind, which I help my clients to reprogram, of course, you're not going to be able to reprogram yourself by yourself, right? So this is really important because my clients learn to become the programmers of their own mind and therefore their own life, okay? The next thing I want to talk about, we're just going to keep going down here, is, again, the company you keep. A couple of these I'm repeating just because they came up in other things that I'm mentioning. Guys, the company you keep, as I spoke about a few minutes ago, is everything. If you have, you have one dream for your life and your family completely disapproves of that, or your friends are against that, and they don't have any ambition or any dream or vision, then you're going to have a hard time if you're completely surrounded by duds of creating the life vision that you want, okay? If you have this, life vision with your partner and it takes everybody to change it, it takes you guys working together. It takes you both having a good attitude, both raising your vibration, and your partner doesn't share that with you, it's going to be very hard. It's going to be like trying to paddle upstream, okay? So the company you keep matters. A lot of my clients, when they get started with me, they really make sure that they listen to all my broadcasts and they listen to them repeatedly. And if they're stuck or they're having they're having a time where they're influenced and being programmed by things that aren't going to serve them, they strum up one of the broadcasts, okay? Because you can use things like these broadcasts to replace that company that you keep that maybe isn't serving you, okay? So the company that you keep is a part of that. And my clients learn to expose themselves to interact with, to be around those who already have what they want to achieve and acquire. Okay, you always want to be hanging out with people who are at your state of consciousness and or your vibrational frequency or above. Okay, if you're hanging out with people that, don't have any money in their bank account and they're always struggling and complaining about money and they're always having to be overworked, but you're trying to be financially free, guys, I'm not saying ditch your friends, okay? That isn't anything I go over unless someone's really with me working as a client. But you're two different vibrational frequencies there. two different mindsets. Okay. And vibrationally, you will become like the top 5 people you spend the most time with. Now, I do channel just like Abraham Hicks does. I do it differently. I don't need to consciously kind of disappear while I'm channeling. I do it all the time while I'm doing these broadcasts. And I can tell you, Abraham Hicks is great to listen to. I get all the same stuff that she does, and you can too. Source, okay? Believe it or not, it's in there for you as well. And, she makes a big emphasis on, obviously, vibrational frequency, because it's everything, okay? And she's dead on about that. Your number one priority should be, I say, your state of consciousness. She says your vibrational frequency. It's the same thing, okay? And my clients understand that that has to be one of their priorities, okay? So let's talk about vibration for a minute. One of the reasons why my clients are thriving right now is they're not just hawing around with their vibrational frequency. They make your vibrational frequency a priority. So they start to be attentive to their thoughts and to their feelings, because your thoughts and feelings, my friends, are manifestations. And how you're feeling and what you're thinking is an indication of where you are vibrationally. My clients know that they need to be a vibrational match for what they want, for what they're wanting to manifest, for who they're wanting to become. Okay? Now, if you don't understand that, it's hard to do it. And so what I see is most people who don't have outside help, they are struggling because they get caught up in the fear, they get sucked in all this crisis stuff. They get scared, they talk to each other, and they feed the fears. They get validation from other people who are having groupthink, who are also scared, right? Who also don't have a good attitude about it, who also don't believe and understand that they can thrive no matter what is going on around them, okay? So it's very important that you understand that having your focus on your vibrational frequency and your state of consciousness is, should definitely trump being sucked into everybody else's drama and fears. Okay. Now, the next one I want to talk about is your beliefs. And I'm going to name a few more of these guys, and then I'm going to give you ways in which you can start when you get off of here tonight. You can actually start shifting. You got to shift into a frequency and a mindset of thriving. Okay. So let's talk about, I keep thinking of ones. There's so many, guys. I won't be able to share them all with you tonight, but let's talk for a minute about belief. Go back and listen to last week's broadcasts. I did several broadcasts and terrific tips talking about belief. Okay. Now, guys, this is nothing new. It's the same stuff that Tony Robbins is teaching. This is the same stuff that Abraham Hicks is teaching, that Louise Hay was teaching, that Dr. Michael Beckwith is teaching, that all the teachers of The Secret are teaching. Guys, I've been training and all this stuff for well over 20 years, as well as my, going to graduate school for psychology, my study of neuroscience and neurological reprogramming and NLP and hypnotherapy, and I could go on and on and on. So understand that, if you have to, find information on this stuff. Listen to Dr. Joe Dispenza. You don't have to just take my word for it. Okay, what I'm teaching isn't new. So it's important that you spend more time building your belief and understanding in your own ability to create the reality you desire than falling victim to external circumstances. Okay, so go back and, listen to the broadcasts the last couple of weeks that talk about how believing is seeing. Okay, that talk about how you're constantly creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. Okay, so go back and listen to those, guys. My clients get that one-on-one, but it would be really significant for you guys to go and listen to that, because what you believe matters. If you believe that you are going to come out of this crisis worse than you went in, sick or without a job or without a house or bankrupt or whatever it is, then you are in the process of creating and manifesting that. Okay, but your mind believes whatever you tell it. It's one of the things that my clients understand. So you really need to take a log of what you are believing. And you'll believe what you expose yourself to. So if you're getting on Facebook, it's like, oh, it's not something like that. So, where's the gratitude? Okay, that's another one. I need to go through these faster because I'm coming up with so many of them. Some of you know how thorough I am. So you need to really, pay attention to your belief. Now that goes into mindset. Okay. One of the things that my clients know and understand and learn to do is to have the mindset, as I mentioned earlier, that matches what they want. So when you're scrolling Facebook, hi, Teresa, welcome. Great to see you. Guys, please say hi when you tune in. It's so much more fun and lets others feel safe. They can do that too. That would be awesome. Mindset is everything, guys. It's everything. Okay, I'm an intuitive psychic medium and a channel, and I can tell you right now, if you're not working with the mind, then you're losing the boat here. Okay, because the mind is the connection between your superconscious God source energy spirit, right? And your brain, what you're tangibly manifesting. If you don't have control of your mind, you ain't got shit. Okay. Hi, Teresa. Thanks for saying hi. Guys, I love it when you say hi. It's so lonely when you don't say hi. It's so hard to get people to say hello. So the mindset is everything. And I was telling a client today, it doesn't matter. Believe me, I am as spiritual as you get, guys. I see the energy grids of the planet. I see people's auras all the time. I can look at someone and see where they've been in a past life or whatever. I mean, it's just, you don't kind of get to multiple worlds more than I am. But I have my little feet on the ground and I'm very grounded. And I can tell you that if you don't incorporate the mindset part, you don't have anything. You may think you do. The mind might tell you, woohoo, you're so spiritual. Great, goody for you. But all the little ceremonies in the planet, thanks to you, all the ceremonies. Hi, Jean. Welcome. Guys, thank you for saying hi. It makes me so happy when you say hello. All the spirituality in the world isn't going to save you if you don't have the mindset work. Okay? Do you understand what real spirituality is? Do you understand that it's learning to connect the mind, the human part, that human tool that we call the mind, to your superconscious, to your God source spirit energy? Do you get that? Hey, Jean, she says, I finally caught you. Woohoo, awesome. Well, you can always catch me on the replay and say hello. It makes my day. So understand, guys, that, in this long list I'm building up here, that I have so many of these things to share with you. But we'll finish up on why my clients are thriving in a few minutes, and I'm going to give you things you can start doing. But please, if you just logged on, thank you guys for the feedback. If you just logged on, please go back and listen to this from the beginning. I'm so thorough and I tie everything together. I'm very conceptual. So if you miss part and you log off and you don't get the whole thing, you're not going to know what to do. And it's like, seeing half of the ingredients for a cake and you're like, woohoo, I got the cake recipe. No, you don't. Okay. I'm so thorough about these broadcasts. If you miss any of it, then you're not going to know what to do. Okay. But we were just talking about the mindset, and the mindset is everything. So don't get sidetracked by thinking, oh, I'm spiritual, or I go to church, or I'm religious, or I pray. You know what praying really is? Praying is not what the church tells you. Most people don't even know how to pray. I'll probably do something like that on my spiritual interpreter page or Women's Awakening Circle. But, true praying is, Jesus said it. You have to be grateful for it as though you already have it. That's part of praying. And you have to let go of the control. That's the faith. What is faith? Faith is believing in that which we don't have proof of yet. People don't even know what the word faith means. They've been so brainwashed by the church. Okay? So understand that, no matter how spiritual you are or how much healing you're doing, if it's not having an impact on the mind and your mindset, it's not helping you. The original trainings that the Buddhist monks did, thank you, Jean. She says, yes, amen, woo. And she also says, I'm thriving thanks to your tutelage. Thank you so much, Jean. That's awesome. That's great. I appreciate knowing that. Thank you. Lights are turning on. Awesome. Good. Now get your little button my program so you can really, really set sail. Cannot wait for that. You're going to be amazing. I'm so proud of you. Thank you. All right, I'm getting distracted by people's wins. So let me just quick say this, then I want to move on to choices and opinions, all right? Mindset incorporates all of that. So one of the things that my clients have, and the reason they're thriving, is because they have that mindset. So Jean, awesome to hear you're thriving. That's so awesome. Everybody should be thriving now, okay? We shouldn't be curling up in fear, because there is truly nothing to fear but fear itself, okay? It's up to everybody to step up. So the next thing I want to talk about is other people's opinions. One of the reasons why my clients are thriving is they are learning to not put value on other people's opinions, but to value their own more, okay? Which is really important. I don't scroll Facebook anymore, but I do see stuff sometimes when I'm going to look to see if my posts have shown up correctly, or I'm looking to wish a friend a happy birthday. And, honestly, guys, like I mentioned a few broadcasts ago, I don't see people sharing my broadcasts that would help people get out of this muck. I don't see them sharing Oprah's broadcasts or Tony Robbins' broadcasts or Dr. Joe Dispenza's broadcasts or Dr. Michael Beckwith's broadcasts or Abraham Hicks' broadcasts. Why is everybody posting all the negative stuff, but they're not posting these teachers and leaders that are sharing that you should be thriving? That's what people should be posting. It shows me we have a lot of people that are not willing to step up and be leaders. Everybody's stepping into being a follower. And this leads me to opinions, okay? This literally makes me want to pull my hair out. The reason people really post on social media, they may believe it's otherwise, but the majority of people choose to post according to how they believe it will uphold their reputation or please their friends or get approval or fit into their comfort group. Okay, if there's something that they're going to post that isn't going to make them look the way they want to look, they won't share it, right? So, for example, I've got people that love my stuff. They don't share it because their church friends might disapprove, or because, maybe they want to keep that information to themselves and they want to share that stuff with people. Okay, well, that's fine and great, but we should be flooding the internet with how you can thrive. If you don't want to share my stuff or Tony Robbins stuff, then share Abraham Hicks stuff. But for God's sake, share something positive, okay? And so one of the things that my clients learn to do is to create balance when it comes to opinions. They stop making choices based on what their parents think or their kids think or their friends think. Why? Because they're the center creator of their reality. And they learn to manifest accordingly. And when you learn to do that, the world shifts around you. Sure, you're going to get rebuttal at first. People are going to tell you, don't sign up for that coaching program. That's not going to work. But they're going to benefit from it later. Or they'll say, don't hire that, that personal trainer to lose weight. You don't have to do that. Well, guess what? If you do, they're going to follow you and do the same thing, right? So now is time for you to step up and be a leader. And my clients learn to make choices authentically. Because if you don't learn to manifest authentically, you learn to manifest just based on the results you're going to get or what other people will say and think of you or how other people will react or respond, or it makes you feel comfortable. then you don't have a solid foundation and it's going to crumble. You might temporarily get what you want, but it's not going to last and it's not going to be authentic. Okay, the authenticity, guys, is so important. So when you base your life off of other people's opinions and, then you're creating that way, then that will crumble. That will be a crumbling reality, okay? So that's another reason why my clients thrive. They know their opinion is the most important one and really the only one that matters. Let's do 3 more, and then I'm going to tell you guys what you need to do to get started, okay? Choices. My clients are thriving because they are aware, they're becoming aware, or they are aware that they have choices they never knew they had. They are learning or have learned that everything is a choice. Everything is a choice. Everything. You see, we're so identified with our thoughts. My number 1 rule is stop believing your thoughts, right? We're so identified with our thoughts that we can't separate who we are from our thoughts. In other words, let's say you're in a relationship and you don't know how to get out of it. I've had people say to me, well, I can't get out of this relationship. They believe they have to do all these things to make it happen. Or I can't sign up with a mentor. All of that's bullshit. You can do whatever you want. You just don't realize you have the choice. And you just don't realize that fear is keeping you from that choice. Or they might say something like, well, I can't switch jobs. Why? Well, because I'll lose my insurance, or because I'll get a lower pay, or because I might not find another one. I'm not saying quit your job before you get a new one. What I'm saying is, for anything that you say I can't for, you just don't realize, you're not aware of the choices that you have. Okay? So one of the things that's absolutely vital and that my clients learn is that if they feel stuck, you're never stuck. They are now aware that just because they don't see a choice or another option doesn't mean it's not there. And instead of saying I can't and giving up, they learn that you reclaim your power and you yield your power by making choices. When you say, oh, I can't, I'll have to wait to see and I'll work on my budget, that's not a choice. Life will fill in and answer for you. When you learn to do what my clients do and you say, I want this, okay, how am I going to make this happen? And they make the choice. And there is no other option because they've made the choice. You see, when you make the choice and you act on it, that is when and only when the universe, the angels, the spirits, the guides, God, source, energy, spirit, whatever you want to call it, says, uh-oh, she's ready over there. Guys, she's made a choice. Everybody get behind her. We're going to make this happen. That is the only time it can happen because that is tied to free will. Okay? My clients know that. And it makes them feel confident and empowered. And then they learn to prove it to themselves time and time and time and time again. Okay? So they understand their power of choice. And if you're feeling stuck or you feel like you can't do something for any reason, then you're unaware of the fact that you have the power of choice to decide and follow through so the universe can support you. Okay, that's when the magic happens. That's why the sales call is so important. It's not about making a freaking sale. I don't give a squat about that. I've got a list longer than I can count of people that want my program. That's not the problem. The problem is they're having to make this powerful choice. And when they decide to hire that personal trainer or they decide to hire that mentor, they're investing in themselves and they're saying to the universe, you know what? I'm willing to get out of those comfort zones. I'm willing to invest in myself to get what it takes. And guys, you don't get anything in life without investing. You can go a very long time and think that you are. But in the end, you have to pay up. Okay? So it won't last if you're not authentically manifesting. Does this make sense? Let me know if this makes sense. It's a very powerful point. All right. I'm going to do one more and then, two more. And then I'm going to give you a short list of things to do before we close up, because my amazing husband has made a delicious smelling dinner and I'm so hungry. I can't stand it. It smells so good. All right. So gratitude. Okay. I could go on and on for gratitude. Everybody gets bored with gratitude. Gratitude is not just, saying thank you for things. It's not even just feeling thankful for things. In one of my groups, the Women's Awakening and Abundance Circle, or the My Powerful Choices Top 5% group. If you guys are interested in that, just go to those groups. I'll post the links below, but you do have to answer the questions and agree to the rules. Then you can join us there, okay? But somebody posted today, because it's Thankfulness Thursday, and I've made a big deal of that. I'm trying to get that really going. Because if you're thankful for one day and dedicated to one day of gratitude, then guess what? Then it's going to spread into the rest of your life, okay? But somebody posted today how grateful they were for their blessings. And bless their heart, they were participating like I asked them to in my group. And here's the thing that it reminded me I wanted to share with you. You can't just be grateful for your blessings. That's not what it's about. Do you understand that everything is always working out for you? And that's another reason why my clients are thriving. It's the number one manifestation I give them, and they learn to make a way of life. No matter what, everything is always working out for you. When shit hits the fan, when you get a flat tire, when your husband leaves you, when you lose your money or your job, things are always working out for you. Because of our experience of time, it doesn't seem that way. It doesn't feel that way. It sucks. Believe me, I was there for well over 10 years. But they are, because we always feel joyful and abundant and blissful and fulfilled and at peace when we are moving up the spiral, not down the spiral, right? Because you're always moving up the spiral vibrationally or down the spiral. There's no stagnancy in the universe. And all these laws of creation go by the laws of the universe, okay? By the laws of quantum physics. So even when things you don't want to have happen that seem bad and terrible happen, it's because it's a necessary part of the process to up-level you, to raise your frequency, to stop you from going down. When things happen in your life you don't want and like, there are road signs that say, whoa, wait a minute. You're not making your consciousness and your frequency your priority. Wait a minute, you're not getting out of your comfort zone. Wait a minute, you're not making a powerful choice, which means getting out of your comfort zone and being scared shitless to get where your desires are. And if you don't do that, life decides for you. Right? 15 years ago, when I went through a terrible breakup that was like a divorce, you know what? That never would have happened if I had chosen to leave years before when I knew to leave. The signs were there all day, every day. And I didn't want to end the relationship. Eventually, life stepped in and forced it to happen. And it was tragic. And it was awful. And it took 10 years to recover. Now, guess what? If I had listened to the road signs of life, not realizing the whole thing was downward spiraling, neither one of us would have gone through that. Okay? So my point here is my clients learn to choose and make choices before they're made for them. So when I'm saying be grateful for everything, even the things you don't want and like, it means because life will keep giving you messages about what you need to do and where you need to go until you listen and you make the choice. And if you don't make the choice, life will force you into it. And by the time life forces you into it, you're struggling and suffering. Okay, so don't let the effort and the desire turn into struggle. And don't let the struggle turn into suffering. Okay, this is how we create our own suffering. So that's one of the things my clients learn to do. They learn to make choices and make them quick, and they learn That gratitude means being thankful for even the things you don't want, because those things are giving you a very important message about the choices you need to make. Because you yield your power with choice. And if you're waiting for external circumstances to dictate and you're waiting for things to happen before you make the choices you need to, right? Before you change that job, before you get that degree, before you invest in that mentor, before you lose the weight, don't wait. Now is always the time, because your present reality is your past. People don't understand that. If you wait till tomorrow to make the next choice, then guess what? You're missing the boat, okay? Your present reality is your past. It's old news. Your future is being created now. So if you're waiting till the future to make the choices, you're just recreating your past. Does this make sense? Okay, so the last one I want to say is stop believing your thoughts. You scroll through Facebook and social media. You see the latest statistics on the virus and how many people have lost their jobs and how many people have filed unemployment and yada, 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 right? Well, this whole list I just gave you, if you believe your thoughts, this entire list I just gave you, it's why my clients are thriving. And believe me, there's a whole lot more. Okay, I just gave you the basics because you guys will never even get through all these until I talk to you again, okay? If you believe your thoughts, you just shot all these to hell. Every one of them. I'm going to say that again. This is why my number one rule is stop believing your thoughts. If you are believing your thoughts because we identify with them, like Eckhart Tolle says, then this whole list I just gave you, which is why my clients are thriving, you've shot it to hell for yourself. I'm not exaggerating. I've done it. I spent years doing that. What is believing your thoughts? What's that actually mean? What are you thinking right now as you're watching me? Are you thinking, man, this girl is full of it? Or, man, she needs to brush her hair. Or, this video is too long. Or, I've got an itch. I mean, think about it. What is it that you're thinking? At any moment, stop yourself and ask yourself, what am I thinking? Now, this is, again, you guys need to take notes, because I'm telling you how you can start thriving like my clients thrive. Okay? The first thing you need to do is to stop believing your thoughts. The second thing you need to do is to start monitoring your thoughts so that you know what you're believing. If you have an old crappy car you don't like, it has come from your habits of thoughts and beliefs and feelings and the repetition of those, because they lead to your choices. And it all starts with believing your thoughts. You can have your thoughts. I'm not asking you to learn to stop your thoughts and go for hours and not think like I do. I'm simply asking you to not believe them. If you get on Facebook and you see the statistics, you're going to have a dozen thoughts that come from that, right? Are you going to believe those? If you get upset, scared, nervous, angry, if you repost them, you're believing them. Is it serving you to believe that, to focus on that? Is it serving you to sit in the chair all night and be scared and scroll through the news and find out how many people have died? The mind tells us it's important to get that information. But, Dr. Wayne Dyer, he'd be doing exactly what I'm doing, barely acknowledging it. Guys, I maybe spend less than 2 minutes on this a day. I get the stats. I find if there's any other things that they're asking us to do to keep everybody safe. I maybe look up, what time I can order something or when the safest time to go to the store is. My focus is on serving my clients, spending time with my fuzzy family and my husband, thriving, helping people thrive, making the best out of this, because every obstacle is an opportunity. And that's another thing my clients know, that obstacles are opportunities. Do you treat obstacles like opportunities? If you're complaining and you're upset and you're angry and you're hashing things out and you're giving attention to this crisis, you're treating this like an obstacle, not an opportunity. Okay? So stop believing your thoughts. Number 2, take a toll of your thoughts, and are you allowing them to serve you? If they're not serving you, I don't care what's going on. I don't care how scary it is. Guys, everything I've shared with you tonight can be applied anyway. Dr. Wayne Dyer always shared that he never gave any attention to anything he didn't want to manifest. I've been doing that for years. When I heard him say that over 10 years ago, that gave me permission to do it. And I have been teaching that ever since. If it doesn't serve you, don't give it your attention, because anything you give your attention to gets stronger. Okay? So number 3, I would make a list of things that serve you, of thoughts to believe that serve you, so that whenever you have a thought that you're believing, which is basically going to be all your thoughts. Okay, my clients learn to do this, but until you learn to stop believing your thoughts, you're going to think you're doing it and you're not really. Because we are so identified with our thoughts, it's like we are our thoughts, and we're not. You're not your thoughts. If you're thinking, I can't do coaching because I don't have the money and this and that would be a risk. Okay, if you believe that, you're going to make that a self-fulfilling prophecy, but you're believing those thoughts. So you can have those thoughts and you can be scared shitless over them, but it doesn't make them true. They're just your thoughts. If you think, oh God, I'm going to get the virus. I'm going to get the virus. Okay, you can have that thought and you can be scared of it. What will make it true is if you create it as a self-fulfilling prophecy. Go back and listen to my video from last week, okay? So I went over a list of a small portion of why my clients are thriving. And they are thriving, guys. I had some of the best freaking client calls this week and last week I've ever had. People up-leveling their business and getting hundreds of thousands of dollars of clients. People who are healthy and losing weight after having a baby. People who are just gotten their real estate license and they're selling houses already and they're flipping houses. Right? People who are getting out of bad relationships and getting into good ones. People who are taking time off to enjoy their kids. People who are making their dreams come true. These are the client calls I'm getting this week. People who are having major breakthroughs. People that are making their dreams come true. This is what my week has been about and my clients. Celebrating. Okay? And you can have this too. But you need to start with these 3 things. Okay? If you're not working with me, you're not in my mastermind, you're not spending personal time with me each week, letting me help you with this, then I recommend you start with these 3. Hopefully you wrote all these down. If not, go back to the beginning, listen to all these, write down the ones I shared with you, and see where you stand. Okay? And just be vigilant, guys. Ask yourself, is what you're being programmed with and exposed to right now, are the thoughts you're thinking and the choices you're making, are they serving you? Because they're never stagnant. They're either going to take you towards what you want, or they're going to take you away from what you want. There is no in the middle. And life is not going to wait for you. What you do now, you will reap the rewards for 3, 6, 9, 12 months from now. Or what you don't do or continue doing, you will continue to struggle and suffer with 3, 6, 9, 12 months from now. Okay? The choice is always yours. All right, guys, I love you. I have 2 quick things to share with you. I am going to be doing in the next few days, and I will post them, some visualization and meditation and some broadcasts that will really help you guys be strong with all of this that I've shared with you. Not just in here, but in the Women's Awakening Circle and Abundance group. Hello, Melissa. I love you. And Jean says, gratitude is a state. Yes, it is. It is a state, Jean. I love it. Also, if you want to learn to thrive, or you know other people that would like to learn to thrive during this time, check out the link I will post below for the 5-day free Confidence and Clarity Challenge. This will give you 5 days to work with me for free, learning to get clarity about where you want to go, learning to build confidence, and understand your power as a conscious designer and creator of your life. It's absolutely free, guys. It's thousands of dollars of free coaching. Okay. It's not the same as working with me, but it's so powerful. And you can get an idea of what it takes and build some confidence and get clear. And especially if you're struggling during this crisis time and you're scared, I highly recommend this. Okay. Now, I have a lot of people register. Not everybody shows up. So you can still register, and I will take the people who registered first. It's just going to be a small group of people in a private group, but I highly recommend you do that. I'd also appreciate it if you shared that link and this video with anybody that you know might benefit. Okay. Also, please make sure you actually like the video, not just give little emojis, but actually like the video. This helps Facebook to share this with more people, and it also helps more people to find this if they need it. You're registered? Yes, Jean, you're registered. No, we have an awesome group this time. Yes, you are registered. I have you down, and you're already in the group, so you're good to go. I also wanted to share with you guys that I am starting a referral program as well. So you will actually be able to earn money from anyone that you refer that actually signs up and registers for my full 90-day confidence clarity program. I will have all the information available shortly, and I will be posting here. It's my way of saying thank you for bringing me into the awareness of those people who could truly benefit from my program. Okay. All right, guys, if you want to learn more about coaching with me, you can always private message me for a discovery call. We'll be back here Tuesday night at 7 p.m. for our next live broadcast. All right, everybody, I love you. Mwah. Jean, thank you for tuning in. Melissa, thanks for stopping by. We have Teresa and Tia, who also stopped in. Anybody who's watching incognito and who's on my teeny tiny little YouTube page, don't forget to like this video. Thank you guys for tuning in. I love you, and I will be around in a day or two. All right, make it a great night. Bye. Bye, YouTubers. It always makes me end it twice.